A lot of the scenes involving the Inquisitors have been cut, but it's mainly cut because of Riva. And this could basically be called the fuck you Riva cut, because a lot of Riva's scenes are cut completely. Today we're going to be doing a discussion. Today's discussion is on the Obi-Wan show. Now, for those of you guys who haven't been watching this channel for the month that it's existed now, actually going on 2 months, towards the beginning of this channel's creation, I did 2 videos talking about Obi-Wan Kenobi, and one was talking about what had come out, and the other one was just bitching about Riva. So, the show wrapped up like a month ago. I was so fed up with the show, I didn't even want to do a review. I didn't even want to talk about it. I didn't want to give it any attention. I really was just fed up with it and done with it. Well, recently, a guy named Patterson has made his own cut of the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, and I decided to rewatch it with Luminous, and we're going to give our thoughts about it. I'll talk about the things that I noticed that he changed, and I'll ask her what she feels like her experience was with it, because she didn't watch the other version, and she didn't really get to experience too much of the hate besides what I brought for the 2 videos I did.
Yeah. Wasn't too interested in the Obi-Wan show, I'm not gonna lie. And I really like Obi-Wan. I think he's probably my favorite character.
Same here. The changes are that a lot of the Princess Leia stuff was cut. Like the snarky Leia stuff. A lot of her scenes at the beginning when she's interacting with her family completely cut, which is kind of sad because yes, they are cringy scenes, but they did build up Alderaan, which we don't get to see Alderaan that much, but I understand why they cut the scenes out to make it flow a little better. A lot of the scenes involving the Inquisitors have been cut, but it's mainly cut because of Riva, and this could basically be called the fuck you Riva cut, because a lot of Riva's scenes are cut completely. The scene where she's confronting people in Tatooine, cut. Instead, she just kills the Jedi guy. And the Jedi guy scene has been completely reordered. So he talks to Obi-Wan first, then Obi-Wan tells him to go to the town, and then when he goes to the town following Obi-Wan's orders, then he gets killed. I think that flows better and it's less redundant, and I really like that change. And the in-between scene where Obi-Wan meets, meets up with Luke's uncle, that has been cut too, completely, where his uncle's being threatened by Riva. That has been cut. Almost every Riva scene has been cut. So...
And no more Riva.
Some of the scenes involving the rebels have been cut, like some of the more redundant scenes, but a lot of the scenes are still in there. Like, I think the scenes where Obi-Wan meets the rebel cell for the first time was cut. So then later, when they act all shocked or happy, like, it's kind of weird because they weren't properly introduced in this cut, but I understand why they cut it.
Yeah.
The stupid scene where the defective stormtrooper woman or defective Empire soldier woman like does all the wacky spy stuff, that's still in there. Obi-Wan hiding Leia under his trench coat is still there. A lot of the issues I had with the Obi-Wan and Vader fights have been fixed though. Like in Obi-Wan and Vader's first encounter, like Vader decides to let Obi-Wan go. That stupid scene where the stormtrooper was like, we can't get around the fire. That was instead changed to the stormtrooper saying, should we pursue him? And Vader saying no. So I think that's a good change. I think it makes Vader look more cunning and menacing, letting Obi-Wan escape than being bested by Obi-Wan immediately. Because then that just makes Vader look like a loser throughout the whole show. So, it makes Vader look cool, it makes him look competent, and it makes it look like Obi-Wan's an actual danger. In the other Vader encounter, they end up changing lines to give Obi-Wan a reason to leave Vader alive. That being that they add in lines where Qui-Gon, one, tells Obi-Wan to get up and fight when he's down, instead of Obi-Wan just remembering Leia, someone he just met. Or when he's fighting Vader and he's about to finish him, Qui-Gon says he is the chosen one. He will bring balance to the Force. Which I feel like at this point they could have worked in the Reva hunting down Luke plot still. But I understand why they cut the Reva hunting down Luke plot, because it contradicts Luke not knowing what a lightsaber was and Luke not knowing what the Force is. So I understand
Yeah.
cutting it, and I think it's a good cut in the end. But this version of the show makes Reva completely pointless. She is a background character. She barely does anything. She shows up and dies. And I know that a lot of people will be happy with this cut because of that. But honestly, I think that if you just go into this cut the way it is, and then you have to watch the Reva show later, it's going to be confusing because
You
it just shows Reva dying. Like, she just dies. Even though the Grand Inquisitor's lines would hint that she would survive.
no
So,
one has to watch the fucking Reba show.
so this thing still has terrible pacing. Like, he cut out a large chunk of the filler shit, but there's still some scenes that I would want to cut from this version. I feel like there's still some reductive scenes. I feel like there's some redundant scenes. I feel like there's still a lot of stuff in here that could be snipped out and trimmed out. I
Yeah,
like when
it's
he added in
2
new
hours
lines.
long.
Yeah. I like when he added in new lines, and I like when he gave context to stuff. That's probably the stuff that I like the most about this edit. I would highly recommend this edit to anyone who doesn't care about Disney Star Wars and they
Yeah.
just want a good way to watch Obi-Wan. Because
Mhm.
this being structured as a movie is far better than having to waste all that time watching the show.
Yeah, and to be fair, I haven't watched the show, but I would say so, because I really don't fucking like the thought of Disney's Star Wars. I don't think what they've done is really great. That's part of why I didn't really want to see the Obi-Wan show. That the movie, the Patterson cut, like, it's okay.
Yeah. Like, what would be your overall thoughts of the Patterson cut if you had to say anything about it? Like, what would be your
Uh,
what would be like your overall thought of the Obi-Wan show through watching only this version?
Honestly, it's pretty alright. If it was provided to me and it was just the movie, I didn't know anything about the show, I'd watch it because I think it fits pretty alright in after the events of the third movie. It it does drag a little. I did find myself fucking starting to doze off during it, even during the fucking lightsaber fights and everything.
Yeah.
But it's passable. It's pretty decent.
And that's really how I would say it too. It took something that I would say is terrible and that I wouldn't want to watch again, and it made it passable and decent. So it's
Yeah,
not a lifesaver, but it's alright. And
yeah. I wouldn't mind watching it a second time.
I don't know if it already exists, but I hope someone makes something like this for the sequel trilogy of movies.
Please,
Then maybe
please.
I'd go and rewatch them again and give them another chance. Just make a fan edit where you cut shit out and rearrange shit to make it make a little bit more sense and make it not so bad of a movie. All three of them. But
I mean, it might be a lot of work to do, to be honest.
a fucking guy can dream. But yeah, that's all about the Patterson cut. It's all right, but it's not
Mhm.
amazing.